Hi everybody. Wow, every single time I sit down and I think I've got heaps of time and then all of a sudden 7:30 happens. Just going to wait a few minutes just for a few more people to pop on. Let's just get set up. All right. Just getting all my crazy notes together. And there should be a couple more people. It's always a hard time at night, 7:30. Sometimes kids don't go to bed. I know my kids are not asleep yet, so Blake is on kid patrol right now. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get started because like I say, like I said last week as well, because this is only week number 2, I'm trying to keep these to 30 minutes and I don't want to start late because I don't want to hold people for too long. So if at any point you guys have a question, please just type it in the box below. I'll be able to see all the questions. If you can't hear me at any point or it breaks up, please just let me know as well, because sometimes the connection here can be a little bit dodgy. So this week we are talking about, or I am talking about, using essential oils for simply sexy skin. So basically looking at your entire skin, not just your face, skin all over your body, and to give you a little tips and tricks, things that I do myself, oils that I love for different reasons on my body, and then just, I don't know, a little bit of science behind them, behind each oil, and then some of the bulk ingredients that I like to have on hand in my house when we're trying to get rid of the chemicals and the toxins and the synthetic fragrances that are traditionally in stuff that we would use on our body. And it's not that I am perfect. There are still things in my shower that I would like to eventually get rid of, and I'm not the expert in all of these things. This is just stuff that I do and that I've been kind of testing on myself for the past couple of years, which has been really fun. And I want to show that it doesn't have to all be done overnight, and you can enjoy the process. So my notes are actually a little bit all over the place on my notepad, so forgive me if I am flicking between pages and things. I'm just going to find my start point. Where did I want to start? I have a heap of recipes to give you. So if you want to grab a pen and some paper, if you want to jot down these recipes, if you registered for this class online through the link, I will be sending it out in a PDF. In the next couple days, you'll get all the recipes emailed to you. And if you didn't register but you would like to receive that, just put my thumbs up in the comments below after this video, and I will contact you and grab your email address and I will send it to you separately. That's fine. So I guess a good place to start would be talking about your skin and how it acts. So your skin is no problem, Michaeli. I will send you the document. No worries. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. So I don't know if everyone knows that. It's something that's said really often right now. But what does that mean? It basically means our skin covers our entire body, and it is responsible for it absorbs everything that touches it, and it breathes as well. So things get excreted out through our skin as well. So it's really important. Sorry, I get these notifications. It's really important that the stuff that we put on our skin is stuff that you would probably consume, because that's what's happening. It's going into your body. So it's a good way to think of it. If you wouldn't put it into your mouth, then you probably shouldn't be putting it on your skin. And somewhere along the line in the past, I don't know how many years, a few decades, we've kind of lost sight of that, and things that have become priority is smelling good, and then making our skin look good, but using chemicals to do that. And it doesn't have to be that extreme. Natural does work, and natural is still to be respected. So I have to stress that a lot. Some people think that because something is natural, like an essential oil, that you can just splash it on wherever. But I always teach that you really need to respect these oils because they're extremely powerful, and a little goes a long way, which means that they save a heap of money whenever you're using them, because you only have to use one drop. But you just really have to, I don't want to scare people, because you do have to know what you're doing, but it's not that complicated. You just have to dilute the oils and just make sure that you take it slow at the beginning and see how your skin reacts to it. The biggest thing I want to stress about skin, so I know I titled this class Simply Sexy Skin, and everybody wants their skin to be gorgeous and glowing, and we all want to look like what we see in the magazines and look youthful for our entire lives. What is going on inside your body? It doesn't matter what you put on your skin. If inside is not happy, then your skin is going to show it. It's like the window to your health, pretty much. If there's something bad going on in your body somewhere, anywhere, it's going to show in your skin at some point. So when people come to me and tell me that, oh, what oils should I use because I've got really bad acne, or what oils should I use because I've got sort of, like these bumps on my upper arms, or I've got pimples on my back. The first place that I'm not an expert in this either, but I do have a lot of personal experience. I would say let's look at your food, look at what you're consuming each day. Try to think about cutting out things like, first and foremost, sugar, refined sugar. Get it out of your diet. Nothing ages you more than having refined sugar in your diet. It's ridiculous. So if you want to look younger and you want to not get those fine lines as you age, stop eating so much refined sugar. So that's your lollies and all that stuff. Don't worry about the fruit, but that's the bad things, and we all know what the bad things are. Having a look at your gut health as well, getting some good probiotics into your body. But one of the biggest differences that I've had in the past year, and I actually haven't taken them for a couple months because I haven't been well, but is the lifelong vitality supplements from doTERRA. So if you guys aren't using them and you're not familiar with them yet, I can certainly send you more details about them. But it's a trio of supplements, and I don't have my bottles in front of me, stupidly. But they basically, there's 3 supplements in the trio. The one supplement is your fatty acids, so your your fish oils and things, and those are amazing for your skin, your hair, your nails. If you want to improve your health, we basically all need more of that in our diets, because majority of people don't eat enough of that. Unless you're having fish 3 times a week, which most people aren't, you need extra of that into your diet. You then got the microgreens. So there's like a greens capsule that has all your like broccoli sprouts and alfalfa sprouts, all those kind of kale powders and things in there. It'll get you lots of minerals and vitamins that we don't get from our soil anymore. There's chemicals, there's fluoride and everything in our water, so we're not getting the minerals from our water that we used to. So that one's awesome for it. And then there is one that is for our cellular health. So it works with your mitochondria. Those are the cells in your body that generate energy. So it helps to boost that. But as far as your skin goes, the other 2, the fatty essential oil, the fatty acid. Oh gosh, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Blake's looking at me like, I just had the oils, the fish oils, and the microgreens, the minerals are the 2 that you want to look at to improve your skin. So if you're taking something like that, it takes a while. It's going to take a couple of months, and nothing of this is overnight. But yeah, have a look into those supplements. They're amazing, and you order them each month and just see how you go. Before you know it, you'll be on them 6 months and you'll be seeing a huge improvement. We can also get probiotics from doTERRA, which I have used and I absolutely love. Essential fatty acids. Thank you, Motoko. That's it. I had a brain fart for a second. I was getting confused with essential oils and trying really hard not to say essential oils. Probiotics, we can't actually order the probiotics from our Australian warehouse yet. They're still going through, everything that comes from America has to go through approvals here, and that unfortunately takes a really long time. But we're very fortunate in Australia that we can order from the American warehouse as well, which is awesome, and they have the probiotics. And if you order your Lifelong Vitality Trio, you have the option to add on the probiotics, and it all gets discounted, which is amazing. So if you've got your own account account, I urge you to hop on there and check out how to do a US order. You can check out, talk to your enroller or your upline, or if I'm that person, then come to me. Or if you don't have an account yet, come to me and I will explain how to do it. It's super easy and it comes within about a week. So probiotics is something else that is a good idea to add into your diet. Lemon in your water every morning is a really nice idea, and just simply increasing your water to help hydrate your skin, because something that I realized a couple of years ago, I thought that I was, for some reason, started getting these lines across my forehead for some reason. I'm getting older, so they're happening anyway. But I increased my water daily and made a few other changes to my skincare, which I'll explain in a minute. And it turned out to be hydration. And as soon as I started to hydrate my skin, I started to look younger. So don't underestimate the power of water. And then using things like DigestZen to help us again with your digestion. Rolling that on your tummy, sitting down, relaxing, have a herbal cup of tea at night with your DigestZen or peppermint in it, and just to help everything move the toxins out of your body. And exercise as well, while I'm thinking of it, is wonderful for your skin, just to get everything, as I said, it gets rid of the toxins for us. Our skin breathes. So if you're exercising, you're sweating it all out, and it's going to be doing its job for you. So that's a little bit about the skin. Stressing that everyone's skin is different. So I'm going to give a few examples of oils and carrier oils that are for different skin types. Your skin type might change. So if you change your routine, say for your face drastically, you might start off thinking that you have dry skin, and as it normalizes, it might become normal, or it might become combination. So bearing in mind, your skin type, it'll even change with the seasons. So I do different things when in summer compared to when it's winter time. So just always pay attention to your body. Your body is very, very clever, and it will tell you what it needs if you just listen to it a little bit harder. Carrier oils. Whenever I say carrier oils, I mean an oil like a coconut oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil, something that you're going to use as a base to mix with your essential oils. And the reason we do that is, there's a few reasons. Dilution is number one, to protect you from skin sensitivity with the oils. So like I said, they're extremely strong, and you want to dilute them to make sure that your skin doesn't have a reaction to them. I now know, I can use tea tree on any pimples. I can use it neat because I know how my skin reacts. But if you haven't used any a certain oil in your skin before, please always dilute it, because your skin can react differently to my skin, and it can take a little while for it to build up sort of like a tolerance to it, or understand what the oil is on your skin. Give your skin a little bit of time to adjust to it. So that's what I mean whenever I say carrier oils. It just means an oil that you're going to use as your base. I've also got a dilution chart floating around on Facebook here somewhere as well. So if you're unsure of how to dilute certain oils, it'll tell you in the recipes that are specific for skin at the moment, but diluting for babies up to adults, and there's certain percentages that you want to bear in mind whenever you're using it on different types of people. Okay, so seeing as we're talking about carrier oils, if you guys have your pens and papers handy, a few carrier oils, things to consider as a carrier oil for different skin types. So this is whether you're using on your body. I'm not as concerned personally about the carrier oil I use on my body, because my skin on my body seems to be a little bit more resilient to thicker oils. It doesn't seem to mind it. I don't get greasy arms, for example. But if I use a thicker oil on my face, then I'll definitely notice it. So this probably applies more to your face when you're using carrier oils. So for dry skin, really good carrier oils to use are rosehip oil, sweet almond oil, and olive oil. So I'm currently using rosehip oil. I just grabbed this one because it was on sale at Kohl's one day, and I grabbed it. I love to buy carrier oils and any kind of thing that I need to use with my essential oils in glass bottles, so that I can reuse them, with dropper tops, so that I can reuse the dropper top. And then I can also then mix this up. So this is actually my face serum, which I'll get to a recipe for. But I buy this as a carrier oil. I'll tip a little bit out, and then I'll put my essential oils directly into this bottle and pre-mix it. So that's all I have to do is get the dropper out and use that every night on my skin. So rosehip is really good for dry skin. Oily skin, Jojoba oil and argan oil. So jojoba is probably my other oil that I use between it and rosehip for my face. Jojoba is really similar to your what's already on your skin. So it works really well for oily skin, normalizing oily skin, and it works pretty well for almost all skin types. It's a lovely oil to use. For aging skin types, or for anyone who's suffering from aging, rosehip, jojoba, again, because it's really good for all skin types, avocado oil and coconut oil. Avocado oil I've used for my body and absolutely loved it. And you can just grab it from Coles or Woolies in the oil section where your olive oils are. What else have we got? So that's dry, oily, and aging. And then your normal skin types or your combination, I would be looking at jojoba oil. I don't tend to use coconut oil too much on my face and my body. I find it a little bit drying personally, but again, like I said, everybody's different. Also, whenever Bear, my oldest son, was younger, he had a little sensitivity to coconut oil, so we tended to stop using it as our carrier oil in a lot of things, just in case he got his hands on it. Another oil that I love to use for my body, because like I said, I don't really worry too much about what type of oil I'm like, the thickness of a carrier oil for my body. I kind of go more for price between you and me. I use grapeseed oil. So again, I grabbed this huge bottle. I can't remember, like, do you remember how much this was? Maybe about $10. About $10 for this huge bottle. And I actually keep this underneath in my bathroom, and I use that as my body moisturizer. And in my bathroom, then I've got my little dish. So I'll not tip this because there's oil in it, but it's just a little bowl that sits on the plate. The plate has a little groove here for the bowl, and then 3 grooves for the essential oils. And that just sits on my bathroom, on my sink, so it's quite pretty. And then I have my 3 oils in there. So I tip some grapeseed oil in there each day, the amount that I need for that day. And then my oils, depending on what I want to do with them or how I'm feeling, if I want to use them emotionally or physically, I just make it up each day. Neat. So that's something that's quite nice to do. Something else that I also do every day before my shower is dry body brushing. So that is great for stimulating circulation within your body and removing dead skin cells. So it's a way of exfoliating. I'll do that, and then I get in the shower straight after. So a dry body brush looks like this, wooden handle. This one's quite old, so sorry. And the bristles are really stiff. It takes a little bit of getting used to when you start doing it. I kind of found it really hard when I started doing it, but I love it now. So the idea is that you brush your limbs and your body, and you always brush towards your heart. So I would always start at my feet and do big long brushes up my legs, concentrate kind of on the backs of my legs or my butt. So anywhere where you have like problem areas with cellulite or fluid retention, you'd want to sort of give those areas a bit of extra attention. Up my tummy towards my heart, then my arms in towards my chest, and then down. And then I try to awkwardly get my back at the same time. And then I hop in the shower, and you do it as firmly as you can. Whenever I started, I had to do it really gently, and now I can really get in there because I'm used to the feeling of it. And you genuinely feel super invigorated. You can feel all the blood rushing whenever you've done it, and it's an amazing way to wake up. So do that before your shower. I love to add a few drops of grapefruit oil. So your first oil that is really good for your skin is grapefruit oil. Grapefruit is really good for circulation. It's particularly good in helping with cellulite for that reason. So I pop a few drops on here, and then I just do my dry body brushing and get everything going. Sometimes if I need to wake up, I'll pop some peppermint on there as well, and it gives you like that tingly hot cold sensation on your skin, which is a lot of fun. And then I put the peppermint in the shower as well in the mornings if I need an extra boost to wake me up. You can grab these from most health food stores, or Nourished Life had a sale on them recently. So if anyone likes the Nourished Life online store, it's pretty amazing. I think she had 50% off dry body brushes. So something that's really easy. It sounds like, oh God, Jen, there's something else I have to add into my routine. It's hard enough to get a shower. It literally takes 2 seconds. You can do it super fast. Some mornings I just do the backs of my legs and my butt because that's my important part that I want to work on. So you can grab one of those. A nice thing to add into your body. Add into your routine, sorry. There's a statistic that kept coming up whenever I was doing my research for tonight, and it's kind of scary, and it's a reason why, what did Matoko say? Doesn't it just get absorbed into the brush? No, not if you do it fast enough. Like, I definitely smell the oil on my skin, so it doesn't, the skin, I guess it would just sit on top of the oil just sits on top of the hairs of the brush, and then I rub it on. I wouldn't like drop it on and then let it sit there for a while. It just, yeah, it stimulates it. You could drop it onto your skin, but you would want to put a carrier oil on your skin as well. And then I don't think I want to get oily carrier oils onto this brush because you're meant to keep it dry. Don't get them wet, by the way, as well. I think they would go moldy and quite gross quite quickly. So keep these nice and dry, hence the name Dry Body Brush. What was I saying? Yeah, statistic that kept coming up as I was doing the research for tonight, that as females, as an average females, before they leave the house in the morning, they have almost 200 chemicals have touched them or they have used before they even leave the house every morning. So that's pretty mind-blowing, and it's in things that you probably wouldn't even consider. So like the laundry detergent that you use, and then you put your clothes on and they're touching your skin. That's something that's really easy to change, get rid of those chemicals. But like things like your body moisturizer, your hairspray, your shampoo, your toothpaste, your makeup, your facial moisturizer, your nail polish, my goodness, like, you know, it'd be quite easy to know where all those chemicals are coming from. But then again, it's also quite easy for you to start to cut some of those chemicals out and switch them for more natural products. So I thought that was kind of a scary fact. 200 chemicals before leaving the house. If we could get that down to 50, that would be a pretty amazing change anyway. And it's an easy thing to change. Okay, let's talk about essential oils specifically for skin, like what they're good for, the ones that I tend to lean towards as much. I'm just making sure before I turn over this page. No, that's good. All right, onto our lovely essential oils, so I get to sniff them all, so I can be reminded why I love them. I'm going to start with my favorite oil. I think that every mini class that I do each week, I'm probably going to talk about this oil because it's amazing for everything. No surprise to a lot of people, it's frankincense. I don't know if you guys can see that. Frankincense is my favorite all-time oil. I absolutely adore it. It was one of the first oils. I used to hate the smell of frankincense, and I love it now. Blake just asked me this week, actually, Blake, my partner, what's your favorite oil? And I just said frankincense. Dead set, frankincense. His favorite oil is vetiver. He loves vetiver. Frankincense is amazing for everything, but specifically whenever we're going to talk about skin, it's great for aging. It's great for fine lines. It's great for scars. It's great for skin, dry skin as well. So it's the first oil that I kind of added into my skincare routine. And how I did that was I just took the moisturizer that I was already using on my face. I'd put a little bit of it in my hand, and then I'd put a drop of frankincense in, and that was my dilution done. And then I would just spread that over my face. It's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. It tones your skin, so it's going to tighten it. It's going to make your pores seem smaller. It encourages new cells. So for cellular health, frankincense is your number one. It helps you to regenerate. So as we get older, the reason that your skin starts to look duller and you do get those fine lines, you start to get the fine lines and things, is because your skin cells don't regenerate as fast. They don't shed and rebuild as quickly as they did whenever you were younger. So anything that encourages your cells to turn over faster is a win in my book. So frankincense helps you do that. It also strengthens skin. So again, from that cellular health perspective, it supports you that way. I also like to, and it's not for everybody, take frankincense internally. So you can do a drop just straight under your tongue in the mornings, and that can support your immune system and your cellular health from internal. You can add it into your herbal tea if you want, or in a smoothie. It has quite a floral, I find it quite a floral kind of smell. It's woody, like floral, but it is quite a strong smell and a strong taste. So You might actually just want to mix it with water and do a shot of it, 1 drop and a shot of water, or follow it with a glass of water if you're new to that. Or you can get veggie caps, which are like the little empty capsules, and you can put a drop or 1 or 2 drops in those and take it like a tablet, and then you won't taste it at all. So that's frankincense. That's my number 1. Write that one down. If you don't have frankincense in your kit, you need frankincense. Also, I could talk about it all night. I should do a mini class about frankincense. It's great for anxiety. It's great for stress as well. Great for your immune health. So if you're using this daily in your routine, you're going to be winning. Frankincense, get it. Okay, second oil that I absolutely love on my skin and I use every day is geranium. Geranium is one of the florals, obviously coming from geranium from roses. It's one of the first non-basic oils that I bought. Matoko. I stopped getting calls since I started doing. Yeah, like frankincense is amazing. If I start to feel any kind of tickle in my throat, or I'm just feeling like, ooh, I'm maybe just going to get a little bit sick, I start to increase the frankincense. Frankincense and copaiba, if you guys have that, are very similar, and I like to use both of them together. It's an amazing oil. Geranium is gorgeous. It's a really strong floral scent, so it's not one that's probably for the guys in your life. They probably won't want to be making body oils out of this and smothering it all over their bodies. But it's amazing for regulating oil production. So if you've got oily skin and it gets shiny towards the end of the day, if you suffer from your pores clogging and then therefore getting pimples because you've got too much oil going on, geranium can help you with that. It's great for acne then, obviously. It's great for aging. It's also great for really dry skin, so for dermatitis or eczema. Geranium is very, very soothing. We used it in our house. Actually, that's the reason I bought it, and I just remembered. When Bear was really small, maybe he was 3 months old, he started to get eczema in the creases of his elbows and like underneath his armpits, and we got geranium and juniper berry to help support his skin, and it worked really well. So we mixed the two, like a drop of each, in about 10 mils of carrier oil and just used it as a massage oil. So it's wonderful for dry skin conditions as well, soothing them and then regulating the skin. It promotes circulation, so that's again good for your cell regeneration. Improves skin elasticity, so that's where the aging benefits come in. So you want to, anywhere that kind of sags down, like under the eyes, or if you get those lines on your forehead or between your eyebrows, skin elasticity, you want to use this guy. Great for broken capillaries, so those damages, people usually get them around their cheeks. Burns, if you burn your skin, so going back to the body and not just the face, geranium can be very soothing for burns. It is antiseptic and it accelerates healing properties, so that's why it's really good. It's also great for bug bites or anything that you need to heal your skin for. You can lean on geranium. This is the other beauty about oils as well. So you can have all these in your kit, and I can be wanting to use this in my facial serum that I make up, but it can also be great, you know, if Bear gets bitten by a bug or he burns his hand, or it's in your first aid kit as well. So it's multi-purpose. I can't stress that enough, that these little bottles are just so versatile. It's ridiculous. And 1 drop goes a really long way. In a 15 ml bottle, there's 250 drops in here. And with geranium, you really wouldn't be using more than 1 or 2 drops at a time, even if you were diffusing it, because it's pretty strong. So it's really good value for money. So geranium, that's one that we want in there. I should note that because it's a rose, and I'm going to touch on rose oil as well later, it's also good for that anti-aging around your eyes and stuff. The florals tend to be very good for that. Talking about the florals, one of my favorites is jasmine, and I have it in the touch format. I'm actually very lucky to have it in the neat format as well, in a little 5 ml bottle that I got last year as a promotion. But you guys can get it in the touch format, and that means that it's already been diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and it's in a little roller bottle, which is super handy. It sits on my plate, so I usually have that sitting in my bathroom, and then before I put anything on my face after I've washed it in the morning and at night, I just roll it on like the upper bits of my cheeks, around where you get those little laugh lines, around, and maybe on the balls, on on my cheekbones and then across my forehead as well. Smells absolutely beautiful, but it's a really nice one to use directly on your face, and it's already diluted, so that's super handy. Yeah, and I really enjoy using that on my skin. That's jasmine. Well, we could stick with it. We can go to rose right now. Rose, you can only get rose in the touch format. And again, I'm very lucky to have one last year, a 5 ml of rose, which isn't actually available for purchase, but you guys can get it in the rose touch. It's one of the pricier oils, but my goodness, it is an amazing oil. It has one of the highest vibrating frequencies out of all oils, which means that like everything has a frequency that it vibrates at. And you always we talk about raising our frequencies. Rose is vibrating way up here. So whenever you use it in your skin, it's amazing for renewal, rejuvenating, when you use it on your face, it brings this beautiful glow to your face. I have friends that use it, they dilute it and use it on their lips as well to bring plumpness, and just it increases circulation. It's really amazing for aging, and it smells absolutely gorgeous. As a body oil, rose is like number one. You can use it, make it up as your perfume as well. It's just an amazing oil. So if you really want to treat yourself, if you've got a birthday coming up, get a rose touch. I guarantee you will not be disappointed with rose touch. What else? What next? Lavender. Lavender, one of our most common essential oils. Amazing for skin, amazing for sleep, but lavender is also amazing for your skin. So for the types of skin that lavender is great for, if you have acne prone skin, aging, if you have scars, or if you have dry skin, lavender is one that you would like to add into your routine. It helps to regenerate cells. It's extremely soothing. So just as it soothes our mind and our body when we're stressed out, it's really great for soothing your skin. Oh my gosh, it's 8:01. I'm talking a lot tonight for this one. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Soothes our skin, sunburn. Mix up some lavender with some carrier oil and use that on your skin. Any kind of burns, any kind of irritations, eczema, dermatitis. I should note that if anything is open wounded, so if you've got eczema that has gone raw, please start like at a really low end of dilution and use that on and just see how you feel and you can increase it as you go. It's packed full of antioxidants, which helps to boost our skin and helps us fight those free radicals that are in the air. And those are things that we don't have a lot of control over in daily life that exist in the air through pollution, through the lights, through the air that is maybe in your office and the air conditioning. All those things can affect your air, and you don't have your skin, and you don't have a lot of control over them. So using your oils can be first line of defense for that. And lavender is one of our cheaper oils, and it is very, very versatile. If you're going to get 2 oils for your skin, I'm going to say get lavender and get frankincense, these 2. And they both come in the Home Essentials kits or any of the kits that you can enroll with, because they're amazing and they are essential. So lavender. Patchouli. I absolutely love patchouli. Patchouli is a floral, but it's got more of a smoky kind of smell going on to it. It's a little bit more masculine, and I think that's why I like it. I'm not so fond of the really girly smells. Patchouli is great for aging, scarring, dermatitis, and eczema. There's a theme going here. They're really good for supporting pretty much any kind of skin issues that are going on. Specifically, patchouli is great for cell regrowth. So like frankincense is great for cell production. It's antiseptic, antifungal, and antibacterial. So anyone with acne prone skin, with pimples, patchouli is a nice one to add into your facial serum. And I should note, it's not just your face. Like if you suffer from pimples on your back or your chest, you add these into a body moisturizer for you. We need to stop being afraid of using oils on oily skin as well. And that's something that I've learned over the past, I've been using oil cleansers for maybe almost 5 years now, and that's what made a huge difference to my skin. I was always, as a teenager, I was on, Proactive and all those really harsh cleansers because I thought I had the worst acne in the world, and I really didn't. I had some pimples, but I was just like irritating the crap out of my skin every time I washed it, and I thought I was doing it good, but it was so dry and flaky, it was ridiculous. But I didn't have pimples, so I did a lot of damage in those years, and it took me until I was a lot older to really, I don't know why I tried oil cleansers, but I did, and they changed my life. I won't touch foaming cleansers anymore. And like I said about the hydration aspect, I felt like my skin was aging really rapidly. And when I switched my cleansers to oil cleansers, it got full of hydration, and I've never looked back. I wouldn't go out the door without wearing makeup, and now I have to do it quite regularly because I don't have time. But I wear not very much makeup at all, if any, and I'm really quite happy about my skin and get a lot of compliments on my skin as well. So if it's something you haven't tried yet, switching to oil cleansing, which I'll give you a recipe for in a second, is something really worth considering. And it's the same on your body. If you're suffering from really bad pimples on your back or on your chest, then hydration could actually be something that is worth looking into, and stop using really harsh soaps in your shower and things like that are just stripping all those oils out of your skin. Patchouli, I've talked about. Tea tree, I can talk about briefly. We all know tea tree for our skin. I think we've all grown up with tea tree using it on our pimples. I can use it neat on my skin. I would recommend that you start using it diluted and then see how you go. But we keep this one in our bathroom, and if a little pimple starts to raise its head, then a little dab, and that will help. You can also add it into cleansers and things if you really want to regulate the oil production on your skin. Tea tree is a good one to have on hand. All right, tea tree. What else did I have? That's it. Those are my oils. Here is a few recipes of things that I like to sub out of, and easy things that you can change. You can stop buying, save a heap of money, and they'll not contain any of the harsh crap chemicals, synthetic fragrances, things that disrupt our hormones and are generally just making us a sicker nation. The things that you want to remove from your routine. So Body Balm, or a body moisturizer. Here is your recipe. Get ready. It is half a cup of coconut oil, half a cup of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of beeswax. So I have these little pellets I picked up from a website. I will pop the website in the comments below. There's a couple websites I like to use. These are just beeswax pellets. They're super cheap. You use like 3 tablespoons. This is going to do me loads of recipes, and they're just in pellets because they're easier to melt. So 3 tablespoons of beeswax pellets, or beeswax, 3/4 teaspoon of vitamin E. So that's a really good antioxidant, and I don't have my bottle of it, but you buy it in like a 15 ml bottle from the same place you get your pellets from, and it will last you a really long time. Half a teaspoon of arrowroot powder. You'll find that in the baking section in Woolies or Coles. 20 drops of lavender, 10 drops of cedarwood, 10 drops of tea tree, and 10 drops of frankincense. You're going to melt all of those down and then add your essential oils at the end once you've taken it off the heat. Melt it like you're melting chocolate, so in a double boiler. So you'll have your pot with hot water on the stove, and then a bowl sitting on top of that, and then you'll gently melt it. Pour it into a nice glass jar, and it will thicken because the beeswax will make it a bit thicker for you, and that's your body moisturizer that you have. Body wash, if you want to make your own body wash and get rid of all those synthetics that are in there. Fragrances are what we want to get rid of, guys, because fragrances, they can just write fragrances on the ingredients of your products. They don't have to tell you what is in those fragrances, and it's awful what is in there and the things that they are doing. I did a few posts on Instagram this week about the tests that have been coming out about how these synthetic chemicals are affecting our hormones and our particularly male reproductive systems, and little boys are being born with abnormalities, and it's pretty scary that we're seeing this happen so quickly because these things haven't been around that long. So if we continue to use them for another 20 to 30 years, we're going to be in big trouble as a human race. So it's really important, and I think I'm particularly sensitive to it as being a mom, and especially a mom of 2 little boys. I got rid of all of this stuff when I was pregnant with my first son, and it's never too late to start making changes. Don't feel guilty if you still have it in your house now, but start to change now and get rid of it. It doesn't need to be in there. So your body wash that you want to make, half a cup of Castile soap. I use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. I buy this is the baby. It does scented ones, which are natural. They're actually good fragrances in the Dr. Bronner's. But I use the unscented ones so that I can use it as a base for all my soaps. And the ingredients in this are amazing. So it's worth the money. You can buy big pumps of them. It might seem like it's expensive. It's about $30 for a big one. But you'll use it in all your recipes. You use it for cleaning. You use it if you want to make a foaming face wash. You can do it. Your body wash, your shampoo. You can use this for everything. And there's absolutely no smell. It smells like sugar actually, because there's a lot of sugar in it, which is a great moisturizer. So your body wash is half a cup of Castile soap, a quarter cup of honey. Get the best quality honey you can get. Organic raw is ideal. A quarter cup of carrier oil, so any kind of carrier base oil that you want to use, 1 teaspoon of vitamin E, and then 20 drops of whatever essential oils that you want to use as a fragrance in there. Really nice ones to use are like wild orange or peppermint, grapefruit, lemon, any of those, citrus bliss if you have that, are really nice ones to use in your body wash. Face scrub that you can use for an exfoliator, 1 1/4 cup of coconut sugar or fine ground sugar, half a cup of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and then 5 drops of peppermint and 5 drops of lemon oil. And that's something that you can use as an exfoliator on your skin. Just mix all those up together. Use that on your skin once a week is a really nice treat to do. Face wash, as I say, so there's 2 versions here. This is a foaming face wash. I am not a fan of these, but I know a lot of people like to use them, and it's a big step to go to oil cleansing. So this is a nice transition. You can use 1 cup of filtered water, and I can't stress how important it is to use filtered water with any of your oil recipes, so that you're not adding in, firstly, other bacterias into your homemade products, because they don't have preservatives in them, so you don't want to have bacteria in there, but you also don't want to have chlorine or fluoride in there, because it's going to kill any of the good properties that you are adding into your products that you're making. So half a cup of filtered water, a quarter cup of Castile soap, so we've got our soap coming in again, 5 tablespoons of carrier oil. I like to use jojoba in this because it's very neutral and it's good for any kind of skin. 2 tablespoons of Manuka honey. So Manuka honey has really good antibacterial properties, which is great for skin. You could just use organic raw honey in there if you can't get Manuka honey. 10 drops of tea tree and 15 drops of lavender essential oil. And that's just, you're going to mix all that up together and add it into a glass bottle and use that as your face wash. On the other side of that, if you want to try oil cleansing, I'm trying to get this done without going over time too much. Where's my oil cleansing notes? So oil cleansing basically is what it says in the name. You're using oil to cleanse your face. Personally, right now, because I've been doing this for a really long time, using oil cleansers, I started with products that I bought that were oil cleansers, and now I simply use coconut oil on my skin to cleanse cleanse my face every single night. That's it. Normal coconut oil that I buy in the supermarket. It's not even liquid coconut oil. I just have a big jar of it in the bathroom, rub it all over my face, and then wipe it off with a face cloth. When you're starting, you might want to make up a bit of a recipe using castor oil and another carrier oil. So castor oil is an astringent oil. It is still greasy, but it is slightly more oil removing than any of the other oils. So it's a good place to start if you're new to oil cleansing. You're going to dilute your castor oil with your other carrier oil dependent on your skin type. So if you've got oily skin, you're going to want to do 1/3 castor oil to 2/3 of, say, olive oil. I would recommend olive oil and just get the light olive oil, you don't have to use extra virgin olive oil. If you've got combination skin, 1/4 of castor oil and 3/4 of olive oil. And if you've got dry skin, don't use any castor oil and just use you can use coconut oil or use olive oil and see how you go. So you just mix it up. If you're new to it, just mix up really small quantities and see how you go. You don't need to make up a big batch. And you just take it and you just massage it. Take 1 to 2 minutes to massage it into your skin. So I will massage it in. It takes off all your makeup. You don't need to remove your makeup beforehand. It's amazing for removing mascara. So just rub it all over my eyes, all over my face, and really massage it in. Then I like to just go ahead and I brush my teeth and do whatever else I want to do, and I leave it in there to kind of sink into my skin. Then I run the tap really hot and I get a face cloth and I pop it under the hot water, wring it out, and then get it onto my face as quickly as possible and kind of leave it on there. As long as you can leave it on, the better. Sometimes I don't have a lot of time, but sort of 20 to 30 seconds is good, and then wipe everything off, and then repeat that a couple times just with the face cloth until you feel like you've got everything off. You will feel a residue remain on your skin. And that's ideal because that's moisturizing and it's pulled out. You have pulled out all of the dirt and everything, and that has just left a protective layer on your skin. If you're doubting it and you're not sure, you can take sort of like a white cloth or a cleansing cloth or a cotton bud and do a bit of a wipe on your face, and I guarantee you there won't be any dirt that comes off on the cotton bud. It does clean everything off. I've been doing it for a really long time. You'll have a bit of a transitional period. Some people it's a week, some people it's maybe 3 weeks, where you might become a little bit more pimply or your skin might take a little bit of time to settle. If you can continue through that and keep going, then I promise you your skin will settle, and you might need to adjust. You might start as being a combination skin and you might end up being or you might start as an oily skin and then end up being combination. So you need to keep play around with the recipe and see how you go. But I just use coconut oil. So once you get to that stage of it's being normalized, super cheap. You don't have to buy any more expensive cleansers. It's amazing. 2 other things that I like to, let me see. What else do I have? My skin serum. So at night, so I said I showed you guys my just bottle of rosehip that I have. This is when I say skin serum, I use this like my moisturizer. If you start doing the oil cleansing, you won't necessarily need to use a moisturizer after you've done that. But I like to have something on my skin in the morning. I don't do the oil cleansing in the morning. I just use water. But I like to put moisturizer on before I put any kind of makeup or anything on. So I have this is like a 20 ml dropper bottle. I put my base carrier oil in here of whatever, like I said at the start of the class, dependent on your skin type, and then 10 to 15 drops of essential oils, dependent on your skin type. So when I talked about, if you've got aging skin, you might want to use some frankincense and some lavender. Motoko, doesn't the oil get into your eyes? Well, obviously keep your eyes closed, but no. It doesn't. I kind of just use it to rub off all my mascara. My mascara will be all around my eyes, and I'll be able to feel that it's kind of moved all the mascara and all the makeup off my eyes. And then, it tends to wipe out. Maybe every now and again, it would feel like your eyes are a little bit blurry. There might be, a little film, but you just wipe it with a face cloth and it comes out. No problem. Don't pour it into your eyeball. But, if you're just using it to remove your makeup, it doesn't seem to get into my eyes. Don't quote me on that. If you end up getting some kind of bung eye because you put oil in it, I'm really sorry. But I've been doing it for a long time and I've never had an issue. So, I think you should be fine. Good question, though. For your serums, 10 to 15 drops of essential oil, and then just pick your essential oils according. You could do tea tree in there if you're trying to regulate tea tree, and geranium if you're trying to regulate your oil production on your skin. So like I said, just from the notes, hopefully you've been taking notes as I've gone along, or if you want the PDF, if you want me to email you and you didn't register online for this class, then just give me a thumbs up in the comments and I will send you all of these recipes written down. The last thing before I shoot off, the last recipe I want to give you is for deodorant. So sometimes we forget that our skin also includes our armpits, and we tend to forget about our armpits a little bit, apart from attacking them with a razor every couple days. And we are really quite harsh to our poor little armpits. So we need to look after them. And as females, which I think majority of you on this call all of you are females, our armpits are pretty close to our boobs, and in our boobs we've got a lot of lymph nodes, and as we all know, the rates of breast cancer are rising ridiculously high. I don't think anyone doesn't know someone that's been affected by breast cancer, it's really important that you pay attention to the stuff that you're putting under your arms. Now, like the deodorants that are on the market, they're packed full of aluminium and all nasty chemicals, and we absorb them straight in there, straight into lymph nodes. I'm not saying that they directly are causing breast cancer, but we need to cut them out. It's really bad. You don't need to smell sporty or fruity from under there. And by stopping, when we use those deodorants and antiperspirants specifically, when we're stopping ourselves from perspiring, you're stopping your skin from breathing. So that would just be like you walking around like this all day, trying not to breathe properly. You're doing that to your skin underneath your arms. It's not a good thing to be doing. So whenever you do switch to a natural deodorant, if you haven't done it yet, you won't get a natural deodorant that stops you from sweating. But I will promise you that your sweat becomes different once you've gone through that transition and you've gotten used to it. You don't smell, your sweat doesn't smell, and your sweat just somehow it feels cleaner or something. It doesn't seem to bother me as much that I sweat now. I always kind of sweat anyway, but I don't go to the gym and try not to sweat. It's not a big deal. So natural deodorants won't do that for you, and that's a good thing because you sweat to remove toxins from your body. Stopping it. It has to happen. So if you want to make your own deodorant, a really simple recipe: 6 tablespoons of coconut oil, 4 tablespoons of bicarb, it's baking soda or bicarb soda, 4 tablespoons of arrowroot powder, and add in then 10 to 15 drops of essential oil. So the essential oils that are really good for that are your antibacterial ones, like your tea tree, like lavender. But then you can do a nice smelling one too. You could put some patchouli in there, some ylang ylang. I mean, the world is your oyster. You can make up a small batch and you can change your deodorant every week if you want. Jasmine, and no yucky residue either. That's very true. So the yellow stains, if anyone gets those yellow stains on their clothes, that's from your deodorant, and that's from it just like rubbing off. It doesn't happen in our house anymore, and that's really good because it's not ruining my tops. So this deodorant recipe does contain bicarb, which seems to have a slight reaction with some people. If you have a reaction to bicarb, if you get a red rash from using natural deodorants, it usually means you need to do a bit of a detox for your armpits, because there's maybe a lot of buildup of years and years of using. Think of how many you probably started using deodorant when you hit puberty, when you're like maybe 14. It's a long time that I've been using deodorant for. Activated charcoal and apple cider vinegar mixed into a bit of a paste and then put under your arms. It looks super attractive. But if you do that for every day for like a week, that will detox your armpits. You're not meant to use any deodorant while you do that, so you'll go through a bit of a gross week. You might smell a little bit, but after it'll be totally worth it. If you have the doTERRA face mud mask, which I do, you can use a mud mask underneath there as well, which makes it a little less messy. And then you can try the bicarb deodorant as well. doTERRA is just about to launch a bicarb free deodorant, which is very exciting, and we actually do one that has bicarb in it as well, and is scented with balance blend, the balance oils. So I've got it on my list for next month. So that's something that is really easy to switch over and is worth giving out. It's an easy place to start, but it does take a little bit of getting used to having sweat back in your life. All right, I'm going to shoot because I am 20 minutes late for my mini class that turned into a regular size class. Again, if you guys want to receive the PDF, the information that I'm sending out to anyone who registered online will be getting it. If you didn't register online and you've just hopped on, pop me a thumbs up in the comments below. If you feel happy doing it, you can just put your email address below and I can send it to you. But if you want to just give me a thumbs up, I can private message you, and then I'll send that email through to you this week. And it'll contain all of these lovely recipes. Take your time, just make a product and then try it, and then make a different product and try it, and just play around with it and have fun. But the main thing is that we start to make changes, because there are too many synthetics, too many chemicals, and like I said, if a female is encountering 20 chemicals before she even leaves the door, how many chemicals is she encountering by the time she gets home that night? It's just ridiculous. And we can't control them all, but we can control what's in our bathrooms and what we put on our bodies. So it's time to start changing now, and it will save you heaps of money. If you guys have any questions, feel free to private message me as well, or comment on this video and I will get back to you. Sarah, you are very welcome. Thank you everybody for joining me and sticking with me. That felt a little bit haphazard tonight, but there's a lot to talk about when we talk about skin, face, body, and oils in general, and I love it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a lovely Tuesday evening. There'll be another mini class next week, and I will be putting it up for you guys all to join in probably on Thursday. I'll put that one up. And if you've got any suggestions on something that you'd like me to do a mini class on, then just let me know and I will do it. Goodbye guys, I'm going to have a cup of tea now. Speak to you later. Bye.